It's a good thing indeed that you vindicated my decision so thoroughly. Together, we have defeated one of Rome's greatest foes, a feat even Cornelius Sulla did not manage. With this victory, the Republic is once again whole.
Yours has been quite the meteoric rise to military fame, that's for sure. The consul has an
Legatus is being modest. He has a natural leader's sense of how to make the most of the people and resources at his disposal.
It's time we decide what to do about this menace, Mithridates.
Do not address me like some common prisoner.
But that is what you are. You are king no longer.
My crown is not for the likes of you to take away.
Yet I have taken it quite literally. Here, Legate, it's yours. You are the king of this battle.
I know when I am defeated. I will travel east with my family and you will never hear from me again. I swear it on my ancestors.
That is the traditional way we deal with our vanquished enemies. Very well. It will be a triumph to remember.
You can't do this to me! I am a descendant of Cyrus the Great, Darius the Great, Alexander the Great.
If only you had been as great as them, you would not be here now.
I will resume my position as propraetor of the province. I knew Zenobia's late husband, Maro, quite well. We were on good terms, and I expect this relationship to carry on with his wife. It was good of you to bring Maro's murderer to justice. I am certain Zenobia and I will quickly restore the prosperity to our fair province.
Word is that a growing army of freed Serwi are rampaging across the countryside, menacing the citizens of that region.
Apparently, the Praetor Marcus Licinius Crassus has offered to raise and equip an army to deal with the problem. Sadly not. The Legion must be disbanded before we cross the river Rubicon. We will talk more when we reach its banks.
Of course, the Legionari have profited well from this campaign. If you should ever need to muster a legion again, some of them would surely join up.
It will be good to return to civilization after these long months abroad.
It has been a great honor to serve under you all.
You have served with distinction, Orestes. I regret that I could not see the war through as your commander.
Come, let us return to our camp and begin to organize our journey back. We will have plenty of time to talk on the way. And here we are. It warms your heart, doesn't it? No matter what manner of wonders you witness. There's nothing like home. It is what separates us from the barbarians. We are warriors, and we fight to preserve our home. We fight so others won't have to. You will know if you ever have a chance to see how they live. Ready to cut each other's throats for a fraction of a denarius. All right, victorious commander. Announce your arrival to the Quaestor, and allow us to disband now.
I have wanted to come to Rome for so long. I am almost nervous now. That is what everyone says. Now I get to see it for myself. I'll let you know if I agree. You are happy to be home? They will be quite happy to see you again, I bet. I have no place to stay, of course. I can stay in your home, maybe. Just for now. That is generous. Thank you. I will try to find a place for myself, but it is good to know there is no rush. We will see. Maybe I will hate it. Then I will have to go and find someplace else to be. But I think I will want to stay. If I can find place to live. You think it will be bad? Maybe you can help me buy a nice Roman stola. Then I will fit in, right? We will go shopping. It will be fun. Why would I want to keep fighting when I don't have to? Fighting is a necessity of life. It is not sport. I did not come to Rome to keep fighting.
Hey. We didn't get our guy, but we won the war. I'd celebrate that. Precisely. Just don't get your hopes too high, all right? You don't really have a case anymore. Oh, thanks. Just what every girl hopes to hear. I don't want to return. I don't even know where to go. This is the first time I'm back home. I appreciate that, but I'd better not. I don't want to depend on someone else. I've seen how badly that can turn out. But I appreciate the offer, really. Doubtful, but I'll keep it in mind. Not really. I like it better out there. I don't know. People. There's a lot of people in Rome. I'm not a people person. That's exactly what I'm dreading.
What is it, Legate? It is inaction that bothers me. Idleness corrodes the warrior's mind. It is in the quiet moments a warrior dies. I would rather stay alert. There was, but not in Rome. I had a sister once, although sometimes I question my own sanity. Did she truly exist, or did I merely dream of her?
Aristocles teaches us that one may never truly know. We live chained inside a cave, staring at the shadows on a wall.
None can chain Bestia Tabat anymore. I will find out where my sister is. We were both sold as children. She fetched a higher price than I, for she was better in every way than I was. I do not know what became of her. I shall consider your offer.
We shall help you find your sister, Bestia. Failing that, we shall prove her existence or the lack thereof.
You are a capable commander. Mercy is your weakness. Your enemies exist as long as they survive. Can't think of any situation like you mentioned.
Welcome home, Domine. More than happy. Although it was nice to be back in my homeland once again, I find it quite impossible to not miss Rome. All I need now is a change of clothes and a day trip to the library. Much appreciated. It was good to be back in action, but now my old bones are in dire need of some rest. To see your mother. I'm sure she's anxious to know we've arrived. I shall be cautious like a lizard. None shall be aware of my presence. Few can claim to be your superior in matters of combat. You have proven yourself beyond the shadow of any doubt. You jest, but thank you nevertheless.
Legate? I always get this weird feeling when I'm back. Like I've left something of mine behind out there. Now there's a thought. That masseuse from Lutetia, I wonder if she's still around. Brilliant idea, Legate. You know what? For once, I'll do nothing. Nothing at all. And it will be glorious. A word of warning, Legate. My nothing involves a lot of debauchery and degeneracy. In that case, we have a compact. As they say in Rome, live with Kaiso, live your life.
And who are they? The people who say that?
You know, people say that. I'm sure I've heard some people saying that. All things considered, I don't think we can complain. The war is won, and we are still alive.
Away, Lucullus and his victorious legion. Welcome home.
Salve, Vitus. It is good to be home again. I'm looking forward to a nice bath and a flask of good Carthaginian wine. Maybe two.
May I humbly recommend Vipsanius Marcellus' new batch? People say it's heavenly.
Ah, your recommendations never fail to impress. Do address the legatus, though. This victory was of his doing more than mine.
My apologies, Legate. I neither know nor recognize you. Thank you. I am sure you'll be remembered from now on. Now, let us conclude our business. The consul seems to attribute the success of this campaign to you, Legate. Thus it is your duty to formally disband the Legion and relinquish your weapons. Beyond this river lies the Pomerium, and not even a victorious imperator can cross it bearing arms.
Our laws are what separates us from animals. You have given up your command, but you have retained your virtue. You can always get your command back when Rome needs you again. It is part of being a commander. You are a soldier out there, and a citizen in here. The River Rubicon marks the sacred line where you stop being a warrior. It is time you learn how you may conquer a more civilized battleground. We shall meet at my villa in 2 nights. There are people I want you to meet prior to the Senate hearing. We must get your villa back somehow. Do not worry about your favorite gladius. Your war gear will be kept safely in my summer villa outside the city.
I hope you are hungry, Domine. Lucullus is known for his lavish feasts. Do not eat anything until I've tasted it first. I wouldn't put it past the Vitellius brothers to poison this entire party just to get you and Lucullus. I see that Tullius Cicero and Porcius Cato are both here tonight. They are highly esteemed senators of the Optimatus. The very same. He is an orator of unmatched skill. He was... to what end? A blade would not help against poison. I am sure Dominus Lucullus has a reason and a plan. I would play along. My personal mission tonight is to taste each and every single dish. May Fortuna smile on you, Domine. I'll be here if you need me.
Right on time. Just like a proper legatus. Welcome, son. After this long and arduous campaign, a feast is all you need. Well, you know Marcus Minucius Thermus. He's still thankful for your timely assistance and the saving of his life. You probably remember Marcus Aurelius Cotta as well. He seems to have brought his siblings, Lucius and Aurelia Cotta. The gentleman in the corner is Marcus Tullius Cicero. Making his acquaintance should prove to be very useful for you. I plan for him to become your advocate tomorrow. Last but not least, I've also invited Marcus Porcius Cato, who may or may not represent you as well. You see why it was important for you to be here. We should, and we are. This is our preparation. The guests in this party were not randomly chosen. Our success largely depends on... I think not. Just be your charming self and try to win them over. And please relax. You have defeated an army of rebel pirates. This is a simple dinner party. Of course I am. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All in due time, all in due time. Now, divert your attention to our guests. Be sure to join us at the table before you leave. I'd like to introduce you to Cato myself. And smile. And do not walk like you have just swallowed a measuring pole.
Received an invitation yet. I'll let you know when it arrives.
This might be the last chance to go. They're going to ban that whole collegium again soon.
That fool, Silvius. He's been pushing his luck too long.
You must admit that last orgy was fantastic, though.
Did you know that here Tullius Varus is planning to run for Pontifex Maximus? I did. I saw him at the Forum the other day, dragging a gaggle of his supporters behind him.
Cotta is just home from a successful military campaign. His election is all but certain.
Doubtless Cotta will be Pontifex Maximus. Varus doesn't stand a chance.
It's good to see you again. Have some wine.
He looks barely old enough to wipe his own arse, let alone...
My leg still hurts every now and then, and all this rain isn't helping. That is nothing compared to what could have been. You have my eternal gratitude. You saved my life, and the lives of my men. Rest assured, that will not be forgotten anytime soon. Only those who matter. Be careful around Cotta. He's still reeling somewhat from the damage that was done to his pride. To a man like Cotta, an honorable death would have been preferable to a humiliating near miss. It is pretty much out of my hands. I'd follow your Patronus's lead. Lucullus is a smart man who usually has a few backup plans. Even without solid evidence, he will be able to put you into an advantageous position. Nevertheless, I would advise caution. Vitellius Scaevola, and especially his brother, lurk.
I was surprised Crassus offered to pay for the whole campaign himself.
He's desperate for a military victory to get himself elected consul.
But fending off a mob of gladiators? That's not very glamorous.
An easy victory to advertise to gullible plebeians.
Of course. The savior of the legions, Lucullus Wonder Kid. I knew you would be here. Don't give me that infuriating smirk. Slither off and gloat somewhere else, will you?
Excuse my brother's ill mood, Legate. This new Carthaginian wine doesn't agree with him, if you know what I mean. I am Lucius Aurelius Cotta. This is our sister, Aurelia. We're glad to make your acquaintance. We were just talking about you anyway.
Of course we were. Really? Are you so eager to display your shallowness? Well, I'm not.
We were discussing how you saved my brother's life and became the hero of the Asia campaign.
Yet my son Gaius was not valuable enough to be saved. I apologize, Legate. They told me you had become close despite how briefly you knew each other. Oh, it's broken. This sword was my father's. It was called Croquet Morse. You were friends with him, weren't you? However briefly. Why don't you keep it? I think I still have the old schematics for it. I'll have a servant bring them to your villa tomorrow.
Other than saving his life?
Lucius!
Oh, please, let him talk, Aurelia. Let everyone witness the failure of Marcus Aurelius Cotta. The man who got himself captured and let his nephew die. The consul who had to be saved by a homeless runt.
Soldiers follow orders. Commanders act. Perhaps in the future you can understand the difference and save more lives.
Is Pompeius Magnus not coming tonight?
He's in Hispania, I believe.
Shit. Oh, I thought this was my chance to win his patronage.
Salve! I've heard a lot about you. I am Marcus Tullius Cicero. Is that so? Few people beyond the political circles would know of me. My reputation depends largely on who's talking. Yet, our reputations are built on how others speak of our actions, not on the actions themselves. I'm an advocate. I defend those whom others seek to incriminate. But I'm sure a career soldier such as you would find the topic rather boring. Indeed. I suppose that makes sense, especially considering the predicament you're in. That depends what you mean by friend. Your Patronus, Lucullus, is a consul. Many people would claim to be his friend. There's a difference between knowing someone and merely knowing someone's name, though. Are we friends? True, my friend. You know my name.
That is absolutely unnecessary. I'd spend it all on farmlands. People need their food.
Indeed they do. But what good is food if it's obtained by illegitimate means? What do you think about it, Legate?
Fortunately, I know you are good at handling ambushes.
Spoils of war. Unaccounted for and untaxed. Should they be used for development to feed the people of Rome? A simple question.
A fairly strong answer, I'd say. No matter how much you try to legislate, the situation at hand will defy your expectations.
Meet Senators Marcus Porcius Cato and Marcus Tullius Cicero, who will be acting as your attorney tomorrow. At least I hope so.
Unfortunately, things have developed differently, my friend. I've decided to represent Tiberius Vitellius Scaevola instead. I generally avoid prosecuting. One does not make friends that way.
Certainly an interesting turn of events. But I've heard you talking disfavorably about the Vitellius brothers before. How do you justify defending them?
What I justify hardly matters. I seek to represent them to the best of my ability, so justice can be served.
Most certainly. It would make you as guilty as they are.
Rubbish. As long as your defense itself is conducted by legal means, we must trust the system to produce the right outcome.
Legate, what guidelines did you follow when you had to decide the fate of that Triarchus? Why did you let him live? Our feelings often point towards the moral path. I wonder, exactly how utilitarian are you in your thinking? I heard you had the opportunity to bribe a hired guard protecting a spy.
Stop interrogating the man, Cato. Not everyone must adhere to your high standards.
Yet you did not take it. A point well taken.
Depends on the denarii, I suppose. Well, gentlemen, this discussion has become too hypothetical for my tastes. I bid you a good day.
Wale, Kikoro. See you tomorrow.
One final question, before I retire as well.
You and your questions, Cato.
I believe if you wanted, you could enter the Pomerium fully armed. Why didn't you? Indeed, in betraying Rome, you would betray yourself. This has been an interesting conversation, gentlemen. I thank you for it. But now, with your permission, I shall leave. Welate.
Wale, Cato. We don't have enough evidence to condemn Vitellius Scaiola yet. But I shall try tomorrow at the Senate. Hopefully I can secure Cato's help. You should go to your villa. Be careful, though. Scaiola's thugs are still guarding it. I heard some people carry weapons recreationally. Just be careful.
Does her husband know?
Of course, but he doesn't care. They haven't fucked in years. He's got his own women on the side.
You look tired. Shall we leave? So, did you enjoy yourself? That is what life is. They look heavily armed, Domine. What if they respond poorly to our demands?
Don't worry, Cineros. Allegatus has many tricks hidden.
The more you say to alleviate my worries, the more they grow.
Just where do you think you're going?
You have a good memory for faces, Legati. But I'm on strict orders not to let anyone in.
As of right now, those orders are null and void, Lictores. This immobile property belongs to this man.
Senator Cato!
By order of the Senate, the property rights of this legatus are approved. From this point forward, as pater familias, he alone can exercise the rights of usus, fructus, and abusus. But nothing. That is if you want to see tomorrow.
As you command.
Not me, as he commands.
My apologies, Domine. It will not.
Welcome home, Wale. Until next time.
I've missed you so much. You look great. Did you lose some weight?
Are you eating well? Has he been eating well, Cineros?
He has, Domina.
Do tell your mother how much you missed her. You were always my favorite. Don't tell your sister.
Tell me about the war. I heard some of your friends died there. Killed by pirates. How did you survive? So am I. You can't guess how glad I am. But did you like the life in the Legion? Do you want to be a career soldier? I was afraid you'd hate it like your father did. But it seems you're more of a warrior than he was.
Domina, with all due respect, I guess the legatus has his own questions.
Oh, they were polite, mostly. Except for the fact they wanted me confined to this villa. I guess having me walking around the streets was too much of a risk. Once you were out of the picture, he had no reason to antagonize me, though. I do, and Aculus agreed. It was a sinister plan to take over our family. I haven't seen your sister in months. Scaevola doesn't let her out of his summer villa. She's pretty much imprisoned there. It's good to have you home. And for it to be our home again. Now that you're back, we have a lot of work ahead of us. Oh, listen to me. You just got here. Go on, take some time to settle in. Let me know when you're ready to get to work.
Excuse me.
Are you going to feed the horses?
I am. Is there something I should know?
Don't walk behind the grey mare. A few weeks ago, she kicked a stable boy and nearly killed him.
I'll be careful.
I'm so glad to be rid of those lictors. The way they looked at me.
How is it? In some ways it is. In others, it is not. City is big. I have never seen anything like it. And there are so many things to buy, so many different people. I love that. But there is a strange way people talk to me. Not because I am foreign, I think, but because I am woman. I would like that, if it is fine with you. This villa is amazing. So many statues and fancy carpets. I love your garden. It's so lush and green. and trickle of fountain calms me down. You don't like the dress? I like it too. Callida helped me shop for it.
Have you tasted this year's batch from the vineyards? It's divine.
Have a nice day. Domina Claudiana has been so worried for you.
I see him. By fire. Talking to his friend.
Let's find a way to let him down easy.
You came. And you have brought Daenerys.
Calidar is showing me around. This city is big. Bigger than I thought. We have seen many dresses. Some of them actually pink.
Bright red. A bright color of warning. A predator's color. Pink looks good on you, Daenerys.
Thank you. What is this place? Why are you here always? A place for your war god? Why do you have so many gods? People are difficult enough. Gods are worse.
You speak truth. Perhaps our souls are lonely and that's why we need many gods.
There! Stop right there! You're coming with us! Please, do not make this more difficult than it needs to be.
Do you know these Landakai?
They told me you were back in the city. I did not believe it. I do not know what kind of god possessed you, for I do not know which of these gods is more foolish.
Mars watches over us here. Mind your words.
You are a criminal. You are a disgrace to our family. Because of what you've done, we all will be infamous. Only I can speak for our family now. Father is dead. I think he died of grief because his only daughter acts as if she's a man. Your tongue is as sharp as your blade. Indeed, I don't like playing with swords and bows, but at least I don't murder innocent men.
Kill whom?
Accident. It was an accident. When you drop a jug of water and it shatters, that is an accident. When you push your own husband down the stairs and shatter his skull, well, I...
Arrested? For what?
She killed a man.
I kill men all the time. When they deserve it.
Rome does not look kindly on women who kill men, regardless of how much the man deserved it.
Deserved? I didn't realize marriage was a capital offense. He was your husband. He's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants, and you're still not allowed to kill him. Yulia, please. I do not want to see you hurt. Surrender peacefully.
That sounds like a threat, little man. Threatening the wrong person can get you killed.
What? Are you her gladiator lover or something? What do you mean?
Usually, what I say.
Innocent? I can't even recognize you. My sister was a kind and happy person who always... That you did, didn't you? In return, it was always you who was beaten. That wasn't fair. But life isn't. Very well. I will try to convince Mother. We're leaving, men. Yulia, stay out of sight.
You handled that very well.
Why did he leave? Yet it looks like he doesn't know how.
galley is 3 weeks overdue.
Do you think a storm has taken them?
Don't even say it. That would be the end of me. I would be ruined. I pray every day and to all the gods for that ship to show up.
A fine reward is offered for the return of a horse stolen from the stables of Proculus Sinicius Hilario.
This is the place. This is where my statue will be erected.
Well chosen, Domine.
We'll have to get rid of this hideous pavilion, of course.
Of course, Domine.
And that column. My statue will have to be taller than the column.
Why not just have the column destroyed, Domine?
Brilliant idea. Write that down.
Oh. At once, Domine.
Just go talk to him.
Not when he's at work. Then I'll never know if he's just being nice to me because he's being paid to be.
Come on, girl. You think a plebeian boy like that would say no to someone with your family tree?
Or is it just me?
Hey! It isn't you. The bread is getting worse. I've noticed it as well.
The Collegium Peaceorum is not what it used to be.
The problem is Egypt. The conflict of succession is interrupting the grain supply.
Typical. Perhaps it's time Rome takes a more direct interest in how that country is governed.
Brother! It's so good to see you again. How have you been? Indeed. I think Scaevola might be worried I'd find a way to work against them if they treat me poorly. He's been nothing but kind, strangely. I'm starting to think his brother Loco wants me to be on his side. Scaevola is trying to keep his brother away from me. I may be able to use that to our advantage. I'm afraid we don't really have much time. They are tailing me, following all of my moves. A little while. I sent her Serwa to stake out our villa. She ran and fetched me as soon as she saw you leave for the market. Loco and his men. He insists it's for my own security, but there's something unsettling about his smile. I don't know what it is. I think Loco is more dangerous than Scaevola by far. He runs all of their business and everyone acts like they're working for him. Even my husband's lictors. It is hard to guess. He acts as if he's a man without any ambition. We both know that is not correct, though. I think they're working on something. Unfortunately, paranoia reigns in Villa Vitellia. They cover their tracks well and hide everything, even from their own people. You're wrong. I do have to do this. It's the only way I can help you work against them and maybe one day avenge our father. That's the last thing we should consider. I think I'm supposed to serve as bait, and something like that is exactly what they're waiting for. Besides, I'm much more useful to you as Vitellia Scaevola's wife. Thank you, but I don't think I have a choice in that. I will send a Serwa to your kitchen door with instructions for where to meet me next week.
It is good the Smith Sextus has returned from the war. I've missed his
Is your back giving you trouble?
He's working on new locks for me already. I've been asked to change all the locks in my Dominus's villa.
Salve, Legate. Are you looking for medical supplies? The world may be large, but Rome is smaller than you'd think in some ways. People talk, and you are mildly famous. Tell me what you need, and I shall provide you with everything. I have some linen I can spare. You could buy some if you want to make bandages. This bottle could also prove to be interesting for you. It's a concoction that works against the effects of many poisons. Every healer I know dreams of going to war with the legions. But bones do not only break in battle. Life in Rome can sometimes be a battlefield. I do not charge for the act of healing. I charge for the items I use. My potions and bandages do not come cheap. It would have been fortuitous if the gods simply granted such materials. But healing is the art of mortal hands. And the machinations of the senatorial class can occasionally turn very bitter indeed. Good. You should make sure to consult a trained healer in mixing this, however. The wrong application could... Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you. Let us hope you'll never have...
You've sent the birds to shit on my stall.
Are you out of your mind? You think I can command the birds?
They only shit on my crates, never on yours.
What difference does it make? Your crates are already full of shit.
Could I possibly pay you to send one of your apprentices to my house?
I'm sure we can arrange that. What seems to be the problem?
My house is built over the cloaca. There is a smell recently.
Oh, I see. I'll send someone out to you tomorrow, and we'll get that looked at.
It's the young girl with the auburn hair on the second floor, on the corner.
Ah, indeed, she is a pretty one. I can see why he pines for her.
I wish she'd just take the boy in and give him what he wants so he'll stop moaning about her outside my window. It's every night now.
If I were you, I would just empty the chamber pot on his head.
I couldn't. He reminds me of my dear Noctua.
You don't understand. We love each other. Ask her yourself.
My daughter will not be seen with anyone from your family. If I ever catch you sneaking around here again, I'm going to gut you like a fish. Now get out!
Rania, wife of Paulus Belventius.
That's me.
Domina, it is with great sorrow that I bring word from the Imperator.
Don't.
Your husband was killed in the siege of Chalcedon.
Stop.
He fought courageously and gave his life in the service of Rome.
Go. Leave.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Get out!
He is our Patronus. Refusing his request would shame us greatly.
But he's asking too much of you.
This will be good for our family. It'll show everyone how loyal we are.
You came! If I say dumb things, blame the wine. But I really didn't expect you to appear here, of all places. Nothing. I just thought it'd be a bit beneath your station as an honorable legatus of Rome. But obviously that's my mistake. Woman, bring us a fresh jug. My friend is still sober, and that's simply not acceptable. Now, what are we drinking to? May they drink the finest nectar in the halls of Hades. That hit the spot. Another one? I'll tell you a secret. I can always drink another one. Another! Keep it pouring! And then I said, well, what can you say in that situation? Obviously, I asked, is that really a goat? Or a sorry excuse for a tent pole? It was. I still can't help but laugh. You know what people say in Africa? Wine makes the soul come out of you. You're all right, my friend. You're all right. More than I could count. I've walked on so many different kinds of soil. Seen so many fate. Marcellus Vipsenius is the best. Some say he's working on the recipes of the legendary Margot himself. Others say he smuggles his wine from Carthage. An amusing notion. Should I also get a wife and make a few little brats of my own? Not me. I'm an adventurer at heart, and an adventurer never rests. Sure, life is full of pain and misery, but it's also full of beauty and wonder. You should endure the former and live for the latter. There's so much to experience still. To people like us, settling down is like death. Something you don't long for, nor expect.
Another jug, Domini.
That will be all, Soa.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you, Domina. May we perhaps retreat to a private chamber?
I know. It's a blessing and a curse. Out with it, woman. What do you want?
I think I am with child. You are the father of my child. Future child. Don't you remember me, Aquilinos?
What? I don't know. I've never seen this woman in my life.
You told me you would not remember me. Afterwards. And I respected that in a way, but now I need your help. Marcellus Vipsanius doesn't like his girls giving birth. He's a cruel man. I remember how kind you were to me. My child deserves better. Our child. Even if you don't want to have anything to do with me, I want our child safe and away from this shithole. Will you save me?
Indeed. Perhaps we should inform the Kensos.
Quit bothering the guests, look here. These jugs will not deliver themselves.
Help me, please.
Quickly, Sarah.
The night has taken an unusual turn. But I do tend to forget some things when I'm drunk. Still, maybe, well, not entirely. Times like these, I wish Callida were here. That woman has a knack for spotting a lie. Probably not. But what if it really is? I don't know what to make of any of this. I'll have to think. Thank you, my friend. That means a lot. You go. I suddenly have much to think about.
Good, you're here. Let us begin. First, tell me what you thought about my question. Certainly, I wanted you to think about the meaning of life. Yours or mine, it doesn't matter. What do you think the meaning of life is? The purpose of it? Isn't that a bit pointless? Do we live to live? A point? Perhaps not. But a reason is what everything must have. Everything is the consequence of another thing. To understand reasons, we must understand causes. We must know the root cause of all there is and all there will ever be, the stones of which the universe is made. Or, in a way, those may be the first principles of fighting. Your distance and your stance change based on your tools and foes, but they are common elements. No one really knows what the first principle is, but thinking about it is the first step in finding one's purpose. Opinions are divided. Some say the first principle is water. Others say it's wind, fire, or earth. What do you think the first? Do not think of it as water itself. Anaximandros says the first principle is fluid and water-like. It is the indeterminate boundless. He calls it the realm of the infinite, which is in eternal motion. When things exist, they become finite. But when they cease to exist, they go back to the water of infinity. An interesting take on the tale of the basilisk. Indeed. Perhaps it is not about strength. Anaximenes believes the wind is the soul of the world, because it is the wind that makes us breathe and live. He also posits that all other elements are derived from air. Fire happens when wind blows too fast, yet water happens when the air is too slow. Maybe. I don't think a rock has breath, though. It's more about the inherent movement of fire than the destructive force thereof. Heraclitus says fire is change, and as such, the only thing that is always the same. Everything changes. Nothing ever is. We are all in the process of becoming, and never stop. Change is the only common element in the world. It doesn't, but it means fire is in everything. Or maybe nothing comes out of anything. Parmenides said, nothing can ever be seen in the process of becoming. Things always just are. A process of change is just a trick of our senses. At any given moment, things are stationary. If your senses are not reliable, how could you ever know? And that is what Empedocles says. He believes any or all of those can be the answer. It depends on the situation or person. But I believe that to be a non-answer. I agree. Who knows? Thinking about the first principle is a way of thinking about the world. And only by knowing the world clearly can you know yourself. He who knows himself and others can surely make better decisions. Only then you can trust your actions. Only then can you be a good man. Only then can you be... Are you, though? A man who is not allowed to do what he wants. Can such a man be truly free? Because you're free to look anywhere, but you do not know where to begin. Sometimes an abundance of freedom can be as restricting as the lack thereof. You may pursue your own happiness, but when it comes at the cost of someone else's, can you be called a good man? A good man can sacrifice his own happiness for that of others. You can do that even if you're usually a bringer of pain. Happiness is the absence of misery. If you do not know how to make people happy, then you can try to eliminate misery. By doing that, you can be a good man. Or unless you conclusively decide that you will never be able to find her. It is your goal in life, Bestia. Just like your sister, you are partly stuck in the realm of ideas. You will not be complete until you find her, or find her not. You are a child, Bestia. No one will hold you to account for what you thought back then. It is only natural. Who knows who Serwa your sister is now? Do you want me to be honest? What matters is not if you will find her, but what you will do if you find her. Then I have succeeded as Magister. I can only ask the right questions. It is you who should find the answers.
How is it? Is everything well, dear? They told me Lucullus is your patronus now. That means our family reputation will be restored.
That and more.
Lucius!
Salve, Claudiana. I wanted to arrive sooner, but we had work to do at the Senate. The villa is legally yours. The Trinity of Rights has been restored as yours and yours alone, Legate. She's still married to Sciawella, and there's nothing we can do about that. However, now that you're here, I suggest you turn that into an advantage.
I don't know how we can ever repay you, Lucius.
There's no need to repay anything. You of all people should know that, Claudiana. This was not a transaction. In that case, I can say we're even.
Is that it? But what if they...
Don't worry, Claudiana. No one can harm your family as long as I am alive. Everything will be fine.
Good morning, dear. Have you slept well?
Cats standing guard. Against whom? Will they stop the northern barbarians by their sheer fluffiness? It is always wise to be careful.
Speaking of which, your sister sent a message again. She wants to meet you at the marketplace as usual. Do not make her wait this time. She's risking a lot by doing this. This can't go on. You must find a way to get her back. Whatever you do, be careful.
Domine.
Did that message
Excuse me.
just leave his cup balanced precariously on the railing? How inconsiderate of him.
Excuse me.
Do you need me? That boy who always asks for you hasn't been...
Gardening is the pinnacle of civilization.
He became too aggressive when I turned him down.
What happened? Deianira had a stern talk with him, and it seems he got the message.
That woman is worth her weight in gold.
Good morning, Domine. I've been waiting for you. You jest, I'm sure. If anything, I've grown a bigger belly. I can't think of a reason why he would not be doing well. I've heard Nasamones is a land of forbidden pleasures. Alas, it's too far away. But speaking of our friends in high places, it might be worth going to the Senate this afternoon. It is generating quite a bit of income, even though our recipes are old. The grapeseed we have imported from Gallia produces tasteful drink. I've heard Skywalla is taking good care of her. This unspoken and unofficial truce between our families, that you do. And I can buy some groceries while we're at it.
These damned crows and their indiscriminate defecation.
Clean linen for bandages? Salve, legate. Of that, I have plenty. How many do you need? Thank you.
I'm looking to commission a painting for my bedroom wall.
Well, that's just a
I'd be
ludicrous
delighted
idea.
to discuss the details.
Who
What do you
says
have
you
in
can't make
mind?
wine out of olives?
Something
My wine will be
that
unique.
might stimulate
Have you
the
ever
mother.
thought about the reason why
Something to
nobody makes
excite the wife.
wine out of olives?
Ah,
Obviously,
indeed.
they're stupid.
I'm sure we can come up with something.
I made a promise to Jupiter and Juno when I left, and they saw me through the journey safely.
Very good. Then you had better give them what they're owed.
Precisely. I will place the altar in the wall facing the street.
Send a service with the inscription you want, and I will get to work.
How is Bai? I heard you returned recently.
It was not what I expected. I made the mistake of renting a room just above a bathhouse.
Is that a bad thing? That sounds convenient.
The noise! The weightlifters grunting and groaning as they swing their lead weights. The masseurs smacking and slapping at their fat clients. The ball players counting out points. People jumping into the water with a loud splash. It was constant.
So you found me again. But you're a civilian now. Here you are, just another... Only because you've never met any of my competitors, I'm sure. I don't suppose you're in the market for some carpentry tool. There is no market for such tools in peacetime. And of course, weapons are not allowed inside the pomerium. Tell you what, I do have something here you might be interested in. Have you ever heard the legend of the Ankylia? Well, it just so happens I have come into possession of one of the replicas created by Numa Pompilius. Then, if you buy it from me, you should take good care of it. You are as savvy in business as you are in warfare, I see. I do have an assistant, my daughter. She is all I can afford. But today she is with her teacher learning history or Greek or some other such high-minded nonsense. The hope is if he fills her head with enough such drivel, she will find a wealthy husband so she'll never have to peddle my pots and pans again. Or perhaps it's the original. Who knows? But you see, even a replica, ancient and storied as it is worth a small fortune. If nothing else, it's an exquisite artifact of a bygone age.
Salve.
Salve, Legate. It is so good to see you after all this time. Oh, thank you. It was not an easy election campaign, but now my family has 2 men in the Senate. What brings you to the market today? Surely you have Serwi for that purpose. It is good that you're here, though. It seems poor Louiana is harassed by some less virtuous individuals when visiting the market. She is talking to people she should not talk to. You never know where this kind of thing will lead. There are scoundrels and thugs all across the city.
Senator, someone just took your coin purse?
He's running there! Look!
What? I didn't feel... You're right. It's gone.
I see him. We'll get the bastard.
Wait! No one has even been near me. Except...
Does stupidity run in your family, or are you exceptional this way?
Thieving bitch. Louiana, stay here!
Who was that woman? Thank Juno she was here. Both Lorco and Skyavola are very busy these days. I don't exactly know what's going on. I think he always did, but never cared much. I don't know. Disappeared a while ago. It makes me nervous. Skyavola might be the elder brother, but Lorco always creeps me out. He is smarter than he looks. Certainly smarter than my husband. I've seen a lot of merchants and galley captains passing in and out of the villa, but it can't just be a new trade deal that's generating such commotion in the household. I fear they're planning something personal. Me? Oh yes, surprisingly well still. Skyavola is treating me like... Skyavola left a number of strange shipping manifests in the library. They are sending a lot of ships to Egypt. I have no idea why, but I may be able to retrieve the documents for you. I'll wait on your decision then. Wale, brother.
It's been a long time. It's good to see you as well. I'm sorry I never came back to visit. Something always came up. I've received a message from the proconsul. He says you'll need me very soon.
If I know Dominus Lucullus, he would have sent a rider for you with all the instructions. A reasonable precaution. We may soon need their assistance. You should go ahead. I get the feeling time is of the essence.
They paid 1,000 denarii for him.
But you told me he wasn't very good at his work.
He's being trained as an actor now. Apparently he is quite good at that.
Then we should go and watch a comedy with him together, when he's ready.